Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. So today we're going to get into the fifth chakra, also known as the throat chakra. So we're going to do some neck stretches. We'll get into some back bending where the head comes back to really get into that area. And it's a very important chakra because it's all about the voice and communication. So I will give you several themes or things to ponder as we get going. Prop wise, usual props, maybe a couple blocks, a few blankets, bolster, cushion, and we will get into it. So finding a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Good. And then finding a little length from crown to tail. So think about growing long from the top of the head to the tailbone. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel or belly button into the spine. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin and come into the practice. Good. As you inhale, expand that rib cage. And exhale, letting that go. You can stay with that breath. If you have the Ujjayi Pranayama, which is the back of the throat constriction, and that ocean breath, victorious breath, that is the best one for the throat chakra because it really gets into that area. So just to kind of practice that for a moment, if you're doing it on exhale only, you're making a ha, H-A sound, forcing the air out the nose on the exhale. So it's audible. So it sounds like this. I'm going to inhale, exhale. Good. And then if you want to do it on the inhale only, think about an A-H sound on the inhale, also audible. And then the more advanced version is inhale and exhale together, which is what creates that ocean sound. So that'll sound like this. Good. So take that how you'd like to take that for a few rounds. We'll keep coming back to it. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? This being fifth chakra. Maybe I have a voice, or my voice is important. And once you have that set, we'll take those palms back up overhead, turning palms away, growing taller from crown to tail. Good. From here, I'm just going to let my hands rest right beside me. We're going to take the chin to the chest. Just getting into the back of the neck here. I'm keeping my shoulders down. Coming back to breath as you need to. Good. And coming back up. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to take my gaze and my chin where the ceiling and the wall meet. If you want a little bit more engagement here in the throat, take your jaw forward. It'll make a funny face, but you'll get a nice stretch through there. And coming back center. Good. Left ear, left shoulder. For some of us, might be it for you. Others are going to try some other options. So you can take the chin to the armpit. You can take that chin up towards the right corner. You can come back to center, walking out the right fingertips. You can extend that arm long, or maybe left hand comes up, resting right above the right ear. So no pulling or tugging. Gravity will give you that extra traction. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll release and we'll come back to center. Right ear, right shoulder. So again, shoulders are grounded, belly or chest is easy, Belly button is in. You can stay here. You can take that chin towards the armpit. You can take it up towards the left corner. You can keep it at the ear, walking left fingertips out, maybe extending left arm long, or maybe taking right hand right above that left ear, letting gravity give you a little bit more traction here. And when you're ready, we'll release and coming back to center. Good. Keeping your sternum and your shoulders forward, move only the head and the neck to the left and to the right. And left and right. Taking that back over to the left. Good. Maybe you can look with your eyes just a little bit more to the left. That might take the head a little bit more in that direction. And coming back to center. Good. We'll take that to the right. Maybe taking your eyes, your gaze a little bit more to the right. The head might turn a little bit more. And coming back center. Good. I'm going to start going to the left, taking that chin down. Good. So you can work through some semicircles here, as long as you're okay in the back of the neck. Maybe you want to take that into some light circles, going in one direction. Good. And then the other. Good. And coming back to center. Arms out to the side, palms turning up, taking hands to the shoulders. We'll just move forward and back. So sometimes I think tight shoulders create some tightness in the neck, or tightness in the neck can also create tight shoulders. They're related. So we'll just get in here a little bit, moving those arms in some circles. Good. And then we'll take that in the opposite direction. Good. Taking the arms forward, clasping the hands, press away, maybe get a little C curve here. Good. And then coming up, we'll take that in the opposite direction. So from here, different things for different people, different shoulders are different. So maybe you can just rest here. You might be able to clasp. You might be able to press down. You might be able to roll those shoulders back, pressing down and lifting. So finding what you need. And release. Shake that all out. Good. We're going to go into some cat-cows here, loosening up the spine. So if you need a knee cushion, you can bring that in, but we're going to come to all fours. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. Knees can be under the hips or slightly wider if you've got some low back issues today. Belly button is in. Inhale, shine that heart forward, tip that pelvis back, look up there towards the ceiling and the wall meeting, and we'll round. Good. Looking towards the belly button or the thighs. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. From here, be at ease. We're going to take this into a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You can make the big toes touch or not. You can take your arms long in front of you if shoulders don't want that yet. You can take your hands back by the ankles, letting shoulders release. But we'll be here for just a few moments. Settle in a little bit. It's okay if you come a little bit deeper here. We're not going to be here too long. But breathe and expand that rib cage. Belly button stays in, and think about that intention. I have a voice, and my voice is important. Use this pose to reconnect with yourself, reconnecting with that breath. Good. When you're ready, hands are going to come underneath the shoulders, pressing up out of there. We're going to come onto the belly, and we're going to prepare for Sphinx or seal. So remember, Sphinx, you take your forearms forward, shoulders and elbow are in alignment. They can be directly on top of each other or a little bit behind. Seal is the one where hands are a little bit out to the side, and we take a lift, which might be high, it might not be so much. So you be where you need to be, and remember, you can always have a blanket underneath the pelvis here if we need that. But I'm going to practice Sphinx today, and we'll try this for 3 minutes. So remember, we want belly button to be in, and we'll come up right here, shining the heart forward, rolling shoulders back. Good. So as long as you're not crunching in the low back, hanging in the low back, we're good. We also want the shoulders to be grounded, not up by the ears. And as you're here, you can always activate that throat chakra, looking to one side and the other, taking some circles. Coming back to intention, I have a voice. That voice is important. Good. Carefully come out of there. Make a recovery position with your hands. Maybe a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then when you're ready, taking hands under the shoulders, we're going to come back up. If you need to round here real quick, let yourself do so. But we're going to get into the hips. We're going to get into dragon. So we'll give the throat just a little bit of a break. So remember, if you've got blocks, you can certainly do this with props or even a bolster cushion, but you don't have to have these things if you don't want them. I never really know, so I'm just going to have mine up here for me. Good. So I'm going to start in all fours. I'm going to start by taking my right foot forward. Good. I'm going to tuck the back toe. I'm going to lift that back knee and take it back just a little bit here. Okay. Now, if you can't lift that knee and take it back, take this foot more forward, and then that will get you there. We just don't want the knee to be directly under the hip, so it needs to try to be behind it. So you have options. You can take hands on the inside of this foot. You can bring the leg and foot out a little bit wider. You can take this into an external rotation, toes, knees, and hips turning out away from the body. You can come onto forearms onto the floor or onto a block. That's always okay. You can roll onto the side of the foot, finding what you need here. And we're going to try and be here for about 3 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of bring my foot kind of to the side, and then I'm going to go out to external and on the side of the foot here in a moment. I'm just going to rock a little bit side to side here, just allowing my body to be able to ease into this pose. So I have a voice, and my voice is important. Or maybe my voice gives me power. I have power in my voice. And as we begin to start to come up into the halfway point, make any changes if you want to make those. And I'm going to remove myself from the block here and come to the floor. Remember, shoulders are in their pockets, belly button is in. Come to that Ujjayi breath, that victorious ocean breath. Good. From here, if you went onto the edge of the foot, come onto the whole foot. If you took forearms, we'll come up. If you took your leg wider, we'll bring that back in. Good. We're just going to counter this carefully, carefully. Just shifting back, lengthening the torso. Just counter stretching there. And you can always use blocks here too if you can't reach the floor. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to bring that knee back in. I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to kind of let myself just kind of roll this out or shake this out. Good. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to take that right into the left side. So from here, when you're ready, taking your left foot forward. Good. Making sure that knee is behind the hip. So I'm tucking the right foot, lifting that right knee, taking that knee behind there, or take this left foot more forward. You can have hands on the inside. You can take this leg out wider. You can go to the external. You can come onto forearms, onto a block or the floor. So I'm going to start on a block. Good. And then when you're ready, We'll go here for 3 minutes. So remember, try not to come into your deepest version off the bat. Give yourself some space to settle in. Maybe come back to that intention. My voice has power. I have power in my voice. As we come up on the halfway point, decide if it's safe for you to make a change or not. Maybe you need to come out of here completely. Shoulders in their pockets. Come to that victorious breath if you can. Good. So from here, good. We'll roll back onto the foot if you went onto the edge. We'll come back on the hands if you went onto forearms. We'll bring that leg back in the center. Then we'll just come back, a little bit of a counter stretch here. Carefully come back there. Hip flexors are vulnerable. And may just lengthen that torso. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We'll just bring that foot in. Good. I'm just going to move forward a little bit here, coming up, and just I'm going to shake that out a little bit. Good. So from here, we're going to come into camel. We're not going to be in camel as long this week as we were with fourth chakra. So I'm just going to change that timer there. And I'm going to encourage you, because we are doing we're snail and supported fish pose. Knowing that we're going there, I'm going to recommend that you come to a basic camel here versus necessarily a full camel. If you can do full camel with ease, you're welcome to go there. But just as a little reminder, so you want hips to stay over the knees, belly button stays in, nice, tight and engaged front body. So option one, the option I'm going to recommend is taking hands to the waist. Palms can be down to the side, whatever you're comfortable with. Taking hips forward, rolling shoulders back, maybe looking back there. And then those of you that can do it with ease can take your hands back by the ankles or to blocks. Good. Hips are still forward and taking your head back there. Good. So you go where you're going to go. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Finding that Ujjayi, that victorious breath. And if basic camel, is a little bit too risky, remember, it can always come down to your full. Takes it out of the wrist just a little bit. Front body stays engaged. Good. Nodding the chin, carefully coming out of there. Find a child's pose. Good. And when you feel good there, we're going to come up. We're going to go into caterpillar. So we were in that deep extension. We're getting ready to go prepare our bodies for some other extension. So we'll just take our legs long here. So remember, you can always sit up on a folded blanket. You can always have folded blankets or a bolster cushion in front of you as well if you need that for support. Some of you are going to be more comfortable if you take your legs a little bit wider apart. So just be mindful of that. But I'm going to come to an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So I'm going to take my tailbone back behind me. Hip bones are going to come forward. Now, I'm pretty open in my back today, so I'm going to offer a little bonus. So if your hands go beyond your feet, you can add this block in here once you get nice and settled down. Okay, but I don't recommend going there right off the bat, the beginning. We'll come here for 3 minutes. So big inhale and reach. Exhale, hinge from the hips just a little bit. Then let yourself fold down. So not your maximum. Good. Keep some softness in the knees if you need that. Relaxing the shoulders. Coming back to intention, Ujjayi Pranayama. You can have power with the voice. The voice is important. What about using that power of the voice to set boundaries? Setting healthy boundaries with your voice. So remembering as you exhale and settle in, your body will let you know when it's safe to go deeper. If you're holding on to the feet or holding on to a block, remember it's a light grip, not a death grip. Good. So from here, carefully walk out of there. You might feel a little bit vulnerable in the backside. And we'll just do a gentle rotation to one side and a gentle rotation to the other. Good. Now, we're going to prepare for supported fish pose, and I'm going to show this to you a couple different ways. Those of you that liked the way we did it in fourth chakra work, the heart chakra with the supported back bend, you can bring that in here again if that's something that you need. So for this one, you'll bring in a nice comfy cushion or bolster all the way up against you, and then you'll lie over it and just kind of come here. And you can always support the head with a folded blanket, a block, or something like that. So that's one way you can do it. You can also do it with a block. Good. So this is the way we do it in more vinyasa style practice. So I'm going to just have this block back here, but I'm going to take my block. I'm going to place it right below the shoulder blade. So think about a bra line, and then guiding with my other hand. Good. And then you should be able to still open up here and come here. Now I'm going to bring my block in stay. You can also do this with a folded blanket, just for a little bit of a head support. Excuse me. Good. And then I'm just going to take my head back. I'm going to take my chin towards the ceiling so I can activate this here. Good. Arms come to the side. Legs can be long. They can be bent. Be where you're comfortable in this back, particularly the low back. And we'll be here for 3 minutes. Using the voice to set boundaries. Using that strong voice, maybe bring joy to other people. Bring joy to yourself by singing. Singing is throat chakra. That's where it comes from. Finding ocean breath if you can. Good. So from here, when you're ready, if you're on a cushion, you can carefully roll yourself to the side. If you're on blocks like me, nod your chin first, I'm going to use my elbows and forearms to press myself up. I'm nodding the chin, and then I'm going to press up from there. Good. Taking those legs long in front of you. Let's just take a counter caterpillar here. Good. And then we'll come back up. Okay, we're going to go into the peak pose of snail, also known as plow. If you have neck issues, I do not recommend this one. I recommend just taking your legs up the wall or up to the ceiling. If you watch my wall yin yoga, I have a creative way to get into this one from the wall. But I'm going to come down here. Good. And then I'm just going to come over. Good. So think about a shoulder stand here. So I'm pressing into my shoulders. I'm pressing into my forearms. And then I'm going to hinge at the hips and take my feet behind me. Good. If your feet don't touch the ground, and mine don't today, then keep your hands in the low back. If they can and be comfortable, you can take your arms long in front of you. You can even try to clasp them here. So that one doesn't work as well for me. But we're going to be here for about 3 minutes as well. So if you start to feel this in the neck, don't stay there. Please carefully roll yourself out. Your chin is a little bit more to the chest here. So you're engaging not just throat chakra, but the Jalandhara Bandha, that energy lock that's right around the throat. Belly button is still in. Be mindful with this in the low back if you've got osteoporosis or something like that back there going on. It can be hard on it. Maybe another intention. I can communicate clearly. I can communicate my needs, my desires clearly to other people. If you want to move on to something else, a different variation here, you can always bend the knees, taking them by the ears. It's another variation that you can take here. Press into the shoulders. Good. From here, carefully, carefully roll out of there. Good. And once you're out of there, just take the knees into the chest. Rock, rock, rock side to side. Gently take head and neck from side to side. All right. So let's go into a little bit of a twisty here. So I'm going to take my feet to the floor. Just pull the shirt out from under me here. Good. As you press the feet into the floor, lift your hips, shift your hips over to the left. Arms are going to come out to the side. Cross your left leg over the right leg. So we'll do eagle leg twist today. And then we'll let those knees come over towards the right. Now, if this isn't good for your knees, if you've got something funny going on there, can't get it out, good. Just stack your knees here. You're still into your twist. Looking to the left, 3 minutes. Breathe and expand. Finding Ujjayi. Remember, I have a voice. My voice is important. My voice has power. I have a powerful voice. Because my voice has power, I choose my words wisely. Good. Taking the head back to center. If you need to undo your legs first, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can use your abdominals to bring everything back in. We'll undo the legs, press into the feet, take the hips back center, wiggle, 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 let the low back and everything can reset itself. And then when you're ready, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, taking the hips over to the right. We're going to cross the right leg over the left leg, and we'll take those over to the left. So remember, if the cross here isn't for you, you can always just stack the knees. We'll be 3 minutes here and looking in the opposite direction. I can use my voice to set healthy boundaries. I can use my voice to communicate clearly with other people. I can use my voice to bring joy to other people. And carefully taking head back to center, undoing the legs first if you need to do that as you come back in. Carefully undoing the legs, pressing into the feet, taking the hips back to center, and we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Good, one more time. Let's take the knees into the chest. Maybe lifting the upper body here. We made it. And then we'll set ourselves up for Shavasana here. So you've got all of your props, access to everything you need at home. I'm going to reach behind me and grab a pillow here for a little blanket. Or a blanket for a little pillow. Maybe I should say it that way. Good. And then you choose how you need to be. Do you need to be on your back, legs long, knees bent? Do you need to be on your side, on your belly? Be where you're comfortable, and then see if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And I will leave you here for a few moments, relaxing through the back of the neck, the throat, dropping into the heart space, bringing attention and awareness to your voice. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body lowered, or maybe you want to lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way if you used any during your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex through the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, pressing yourself back up into a comfortable seat, maybe the same one we started with or a different one. Finding a nice tall spine, fingertips to the side, noticing how you feel. Inhale, arms come up overhead, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in heart center. Reconnecting with that intention one more time. We'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts. To our lips for good and kind words. And to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you always have the courage to use and find your voice. Namaste.